Houska Castle, the gateway to hell's horrors. What if the gates of hell were not just a metaphor, but a real place hidden in plain sight? A location so feared that it was not built to keep invaders out, but rather to keep something far worse locked inside. One such place exists, shrouded in legend and mystery: Houska Castle. Rising from the heart of the Czech Republic, roughly 50 kilometers north of Prague, Houska Castle is no ordinary fortress. Unlike other castles designed for defense, royalty, or trade, Houska serves no clear strategic purpose. It stands isolated, far from rivers, roads, or settlements, as if deliberately distanced from human civilization. Even more unsettling, its architectural defenses are reversed, built to guard against something escaping from within rather than intruders from without. Its windows, which appear normal from the outside, are sealed with thick stone walls on the inside. There are no stairs leading from the upper floors to the courtyard below, and at the center of this enigmatic structure lies its most terrifying secret: a seemingly bottomless pit, a chasm long believed to be a direct portal to hell itself. For centuries, locals whispered of unspeakable horrors emerging from the abyss. Winged creatures, grotesque and unnatural, were said to crawl out at night, preying on livestock and dragging the unwary into the depths. Fear of the pit was so intense that villagers avoided the area at all costs, refusing to go near it even in daylight. The stories grew darker when rumors spread of people who had dared to approach, many of whom never returned, and those who did were never the same. During the Middle Ages, the ruling duke sought to dispel these fears, dismissing them as foolish superstitions. To prove the chasm was harmless, he devised a cruel experiment. He offered condemned prisoners a chance at freedom if they agreed to be lowered into the pit and report their findings. The first volunteer, a young man, was tied to a rope and slowly lowered into the darkness. Moments later, his agonized screams shattered the silence. Frantically, the Duke's men hauled him back up, only to recoil in horror. The prisoner, mere minutes ago a healthy young man, had aged decades in an instant. His hair had turned stark white, his skin shriveled with wrinkles, and his eyes bore the haunted look of someone who had witnessed pure nightmare. Babbling incoherently about unspeakable creatures lurking below, he soon lost his mind completely and died shortly thereafter. None of the other prisoners dared to follow in his footsteps. Terrified, the Duke ordered the chasm sealed. Yet the earth refused to hold, as anything used to cover it seemed to be swallowed up. Desperate, he petitioned the king for help, and the decision was made to construct a fortress, not as a home, but as a tomb, to keep whatever lurked below from emerging. Houska Castle was built directly over the chasm, and at its very heart, a chapel was erected in dedication to Archangel Michael, heaven's mightiest warrior, as a guardian against the darkness. Massive stone slabs were placed over the hole, trapping the horrors beneath. But even then, the castle remained a place of fear. Centuries passed, yet its sinister reputation never faded. In the early 1600s, a man named Oranto, a Swedish mercenary with an obsession for the occult, took up residence in the castle. He believed he could harness its dark energy to brew an elixir of immortality. Night after night, he locked himself away in his alchemical laboratory, conducting unspeakable rituals. The nearby villagers, terrified by his work, whispered that he had made a pact with the very creatures lurking beneath Houska. One night, unable to bear the presence of such a man any longer, 2 hunters from the village stormed the castle and murdered him. Whether they feared his experiments or sought to silence something far worse, the truth remains unknown. Even the poets who dared to visit Houska were not left untouched. In 1836, Czech poet Karel Hynek Mácha spent a night within its walls. The following day, he wrote a chilling account to a friend, describing a vision, or perhaps a nightmare, of descending into the chasm and emerging in the distant future. He spoke of a mechanized city suffocating under thick smog and landscapes scarred with towering structures and glowing lights. His description bore a startling resemblance to modern-day Prague, nearly 2 centuries before such a reality existed. Soon after sharing his vision, Mácha died under mysterious circumstances. During World War II, the Nazis seized the castle, drawn by its eerie legend. Obsessed with the occult, they believed Houska held secrets that could be weaponized. From 1939 to 1945, the castle became the site of disturbing experiments, though what exactly transpired behind its stone walls remains unknown. Before retreating, the Nazis destroyed most of their records and even rigged the fortress with explosives as if to erase any trace of their work. Yet, during later restorations, skeletal remains of Nazi soldiers were discovered beneath the floors, executed by their own comrades. What had they witnessed that sealed their fate? Though now open to visitors, the castle has not shed its chilling aura. Even today, visitors report hearing unearthly screams echoing from beneath the chapel floor. Shadows dart through the hallways, and unseen claws scratch at the stone walls. The surrounding woods are home to strange figures, half-human, half-beast creatures, and spectral beings with hollow eyes. Birds that fly too close to the castle often drop lifeless from the sky, as if something unseen drains them of their essence. Paranormal researchers, skeptics, and believers alike have attempted to uncover the truth, only to leave with more questions than answers. One of the most persistent legends speaks of a guardian, a faceless figure in a black cloak, eternally patrolling the castle. Unlike the other entities, it does not seem malevolent. Rather, it watches, ensuring that whatever lies beneath remains trapped. Is Houska Castle truly a gateway to hell, a portal to another dimension, or merely a place where fear and legend have intertwined so deeply that they have given birth to something beyond our understanding? We may never know for certain, but one thing is clear. The secrets buried within Houska have endured for centuries, and they show no sign of fading. If you found this journey into darkness intriguing, be sure to subscribe to Shadows and Secrets for more deep dives into the world's most mysterious places. Leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think lies beneath Houska Castle? That said, thank you and see you next time.